Hi, folks. My name is Theodore Cottingham, and I'm announcing to you a new Bible. A Bible so new that it's not even in printed, bound form in a book yet, because it is more than 3 times longer than the Christian Bible. And it was all channeled. It didn't come through the mind of man. It didn't come forth as a product of education, learning. It was not produced with the motive of any other Bible. You see, the Bible of Christ, the motive, the Bible of Christ exists for you to become it, for you to become Christ in your shoes. The Christ, yes, you. The one and only one, the one that we all are, one of, the one being made up of all the ones. You see, it's a collective of equals. It's a collective consciousness. It's a cosmic consciousness that's coming forth, you see. And it comes through you. The bewildered, not. The audacious, arrogant, not. But the humble. So I say to you this day, there are new things going on, and you will see many things change now. Because the light of the world is coming forth. The light of the world that you are no longer hidden under a bush, no longer hidden under your frame of reference, your thought processes, your flesh. The light of the world is coming forth. A beacon is going out throughout the earth, saying, it's time. No more will religion speak for me. I'll speak for myself, thank you. The God, the source. What you've called God, what you've served. You see, there's so much more to the story. But mankind has this propensity to select comfort, avoid fear, and often learn as little as possible about the new, especially when you have such an investment in the old. You have such an investment in classical physics, classical God, classical concepts. We've given our lives, so many of us, to what we thought was a life that might please God. Please God. We've studied the scriptures to show ourselves approved. We've said the sinner's prayer 6,000 times or more, or some of us have. I think I did. But there's more to the story, and there's a new Bible out. There's a Bible out that you can interact with to see the voice of God, see the face of God in your mirror. There's a new Bible out. Bible? Oh, it's not canonized by religion. It's not published by some big publishing house that does their thing. This new Bible has come forth from me, through me. I don't know why me, except I was willing. I'm 74 now. My name is Theodore Cottingham. When I was 9, an angel came to me. True story. I was in the kitchen about 6 or 7 p.m., I don't know. And I was making a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. I was almost 10 years old. I was spreading my bread, and all of a sudden, I realized I was not alone. And I raised my head, and an angel, what else do I call it? A light being, a being of light, not molecular, was in the air, not touching the ceiling, no feet on the floor, just all white, some kind of energy. Not an apparition, not a ghost, not a fabric of my imagination. Honestly, as a kid, I was petrified. Nothing had prepared me for that moment. And I just sat there and gazed at this angel, which after a pause of my gaze spoke and said only just a few words. Tell others about Jesus. And after a pause, some time went by. The angel was no longer within my vision. It had energy. It was energy. It exuded a communication by its intent. It's not that I heard words. It's not that I heard words with my ears, but I encountered the communication. Clearly, audibly, it wasn't audible. You see, the angelic order, the order of God, the order of angels, the order, the operation of what we're coming into does not need syllables and is not limited to syllables. But we're increasingly encountering the voices, the voice of angels, the voice of unconditional love, to us, for us to communicate so that they will teach us who we are. Yay. No longer limited to the first church, the second church, the church of this, that, or the other, the priest or the temple. No longer limited to what you believe. When you're ready to no longer limit yourself to what you believe, you may learn some things about the truth. But as long as you espouse your belief system, as long as you profess your faith in God, your faith in a separate God, your faith in a historical Jesus, your faith in the things to come, your faith that you have not been misled by the preacher's priest and all the religions of the world, or whichever one you prescribe to or pray to. Whenever you are desperate enough to say, I want to know love. I don't want to be hung up on faith or trying to have faith to please God or trying to simply avoid hell, make it into heaven. When you're ready to lay down your Jekyll and Hyde. Jekyll and Hyde, God, Satan's story. You see the story, the warfare between God and Satan, good and evil, is turmoil producing, instilling fear for the purpose of control. We haven't thought of it like that. We thought of, oh, the freedom that God gives us, the freedom in Christ, the freedom. Freedom what? Freedom to sit on a pew. Freedom to study the book of the past and think we know what it means. And sit around and wait. I spent over 40 years living in Tulsa, Oklahoma. And for years there was a live production. I forget what the name of that was. Something about the Bride of Christ or whatever. It was a magnificent, first-rate, world-class production this church put on 50, 60 miles south of Tulsa. World-class. Terrific music, stage props. It was a big deal. But so graphically they portrayed, so powerfully, Christ as this young woman who becomes under the influence of that which begins to commune and say, you're lovely, you're beautiful. God will come take care of you. It'll all be okay. And she combs and brushes her hair and primps, and it was all about convincing her to wait. People wait on the Lord? My friend, there is a new word. A brand new word. Not that you've never heard it. Lead. I suggest to you, unconditional love leads. Unconditional love teaches. Unconditional love reproduces unconditional love, because it not only has the information about the values, it doesn't just understand a few precepts, concepts, and scriptures that assimilates and tries to operate with a quality of life. No, there's more to the story. And when you're ready for more, than what you've ever known? If you get to that point, so many are so fearful. Oh, beware of false teachers. Beware of false teachers. They'll beguile you, you naive people. Are you willing to go into the unknown? Are you willing to no longer be scared off by the threat of the lion's den? Where are you, Daniel? The fiery furnace? Fiery furnace? Hell? Oh, you're scared of hell. You're scared. You're scared of God. But we always, so many of us thought, oh, how can you be scared of God? God is love. But wait, it's the fearful thing to fall into the hands of the living God, right? There's vengeance, there's retribution, there's wrath, there's hell. There's a whole warfare of turmoil and striving to show yourself approved that's set up in this duality of heaven and hell, good and evil. When, my friend, you're not worthy, not again. You are the Christ who will be it in your shoes. But there's a learning process. And this process is not fast. It's not like fast food. You walk into a place and you're impatient. You wait in line a few minutes. You become grumpy because you wait 2 or 3, 4 minutes. You order something, guzzle it down and go on your way. I'm talking about a new creation, not the kind that religion teaches. I'm talking about a new creation where you come to realize the revelation of Christ. And that if you see it, if you see the message, if you see the face of Christ, it's in your mirror. Behold the revelation of Christ this day. You're it. And you become it, or you reject it. But oh yes, you have your free will. And you can say all you want to. Oh, right, you prayed the sinner's prayer. Yep. Did that transform you into a new creation that could do John 14:12, do all the things Jesus did? Go about healing people, raising the dead, calm the storm, feed the 5,000? No. We haven't become new creations yet. Not a one of us. But this is coming about. It's coming about now, where common people will finally realize that their righteousness is as filthy rags. My friend, you are the king. You have a kingdom. The kingdom of heaven, the kingdom of God, synonymous. I use it as synonyms. The kingdom. Your kingdom is within you. And if you ever see it, if you ever experience, you will choose to enter it. And it's by a process. It's by a process, the operation of the new covenant, the living, eternal, everlasting covenant, the covenant that replaces all other covenants. It's no longer about the Noah, the Abrahamic covenant, or anything else. It's about the new covenant where unconditional love communes with you, like that angel did with me, who says to you, I will never leave you or forsake you. I am in you. I'm not separate. You see, the more you realize you become me, I become you. We're no longer a vessel for something else. We become the hands and feet of God Almighty, maker of heaven and earth. Not limited to heaven and earth, not limited to the Milky Way, not limited to this energy system of quarks, organelles, protons, neutrons, electrons, not limited by electromagnetic force. Remember, it was after, supposedly, the narrative is recorded, after the resurrection, Jesus appeared to his disciples, what? Suddenly in a room? Disciples fishing, and said, cast your net on the other side. And they did. And the result was something very unexpected to them. And a little while later, they all were at shore. And the narrative says, they ate fish. Jesus, after the resurrection, molecular man, an intangible entity with agency, no longer limited to this world, becoming flesh, eating fish, the Word made flesh. How did Jesus do the things he did? He learned. He was born just as ignorant as I was, as you were. Coming out the womb, some innate predisposition of whatever the DNA. He didn't know the language. He didn't know Hebrew, Aramaic. He didn't know. He didn't know the culture. He didn't know people wanted him to be politically correct, religiously conforming to their culture. Jesus was a rebel. And I so eloquently wrote that not, but I wrote a book called Jesus the Pattern. And I've shown it to you many times as I have taught. Of course, it looks backwards I use a Pixel 9 phone, and it's mirrored, so it appears backward. I'll have a different camera one day. So this is over 300 pages written over some 10 years. I offered it free for years. I read a little bit in it. A little while ago, I turned to page 265. Mind and matter do not exist separately. The born-again new creation of Christ begets Christ that creates it within them, the real thing. Christ is the Messiah that saves you from you. The flesh wants to use you as flesh and reign in your mortal body, to have ego function and thought serve you as a machine serves back the redirected energy in a different state of form. All of the universe is in our mind. Our minds form a collective consciousness. But we've become very fragmented because we wanted our own free will. We wanted to execute our own sovereignty to believe what we want. That is the fall. What Christianity calls the fall. The fall. Separation. Hiding my thoughts. I can hide from God, or I can hide from you. You don't know what I think unless I tell you, unless you encounter my consciousness. Are you willing to open your consciousness to that which you cannot see, can't read about, or are you willing to read about and learn? Are you willing to read a new Bible? A new Bible? How can I say a new Bible? Did I write it? No, I'm not talking about Jesus the pattern. I'm talking about the Bible of Christ. That's what I named it now. Where I began to channel. I didn't call it that. I was scared of that word. I was a devout, devoted disciple. I was a good Christian. I tried to be. Read all sorts of Christian books. Spent probably thousands of hours studying the Bible, linking, learning, unlearning, relearning, redefining, listening, asking questions. And if you're not willing to ask the hard questions, you're a fool. Or you just want to remain fooled by what you think is right. You see, what you think is right, hear me out, what you think is right doesn't matter, because what you think doesn't control truth. Truth will not set you free. Truth, you see, comes revealed as information. Information doesn't set you free. The power of God, the power of something else, someone else, the power of religion, all the power on the earth doesn't set you free. The only one that can set you free is you. The only one that can set you free from your mind. That which controls you. Controls you? Yes, your mind controls you because it computes your reality that it keeps you in, enslaves you in, the slavery of the flesh. When you're willing to learn to do what Jesus did and be taught directly from on high within inside you, be taught without words, where you bring forth the words, where you begin to channel, you may learn something about who you are that gives you a new identity, not one of arrogance, but of utter humility. And you begin to see that idea of having a kingdom inside of you really is true. There's something to it. But are you willing? Are you willing to sit silent for hours? Are you willing to set aside an hour a day to be still and know that I am God in your mirror? Are you humble enough? Are you willing to no longer execute your privilege of your own free will, to insist in your ignorance and your arrogance that you're separate from God? The kingdom is within you. And just like that angel came to me and said, tell others about Jesus, you will encounter a communion if you're willing. Much of my life, I thought that angel coming to me telling me to tell others about Jesus was a call to preach, because that was my indoctrination. That was my interpretation of that. But I've learned so much more, and I can't tell all my life story and everything that happened in one video. There are more than 2,000 videos that I've created on this YouTube channel for you to learn. I have written a book, Jesus the Pattern, 300 pages. You can buy the ebook. You can buy it online. I no longer give it away. Seems like most people don't value what they don't pay for. And they value a lot what they pay a lot for. You can buy the book. I plan to have this reprinted, print some more copies here soon. No, I'm not giving them away. I'm not trying to sell them cheap. I'm not trying to persuade you. I'm not that eloquent. I'm not that articulate. I'm a simple, common guy, 74, here in Eureka Springs, Arkansas, with a message. We are coming to know Christ in the fullness, not of his resurrection, but ours, where we begin to behold the revelation of revelation, that we are no longer subject to our last enemy called death. There's a resurrection before you die. You don't need to submit to death. But you see, you can ask me, of course, all kind of questions to try to angle your way to defeat my message, defeat my premise. You can think what you want. You see, you can think anything you want. Your mind, your mind doesn't care what you think. It's a rattle trap with the venom of others' words. It just gives you back anything you choose to believe. And anything you choose to believe, you can corroborate. You can experience the validity of whatever you choose to believe, no matter what conspiracy, what religion, what falsehood. Because what you believe, it becomes your reality. But you are the light of the world. Light, energy. You are the energy of the world, not subject to the wrath of man, nor even the wrath of God. Not the Christian God. There's a new Bible. I can teach and teach and teach. I can. 21 times I did a multiple day seminar conference in Tulsa some years ago. And after the first few, I began to be the only teacher. And I would have 2 or 3 sessions each day. Usually began at 9 a.m., 9 a.m. to noon, and then 1 to 4, sometimes in the evening. And I was the only teacher speaker. And I had this wonderful facility that was open to me, this large room. And before these week-long conferences, I bought these giant Post-it notes, this tall, this wide, and I'd cover the wall. And I would go through before the conference started, and in the top right-hand corner, I would write the date and the page number. And during that week-long conference, they all became filled, most of the time, with revelation that I didn't know I had, that came forth as I spoke. The revelation came forth through me as I taught. My willingness to surrender to the energy, the light, the love, would come through me. That's the operation of the new covenant. And then, after the last day of the conference, I got to where I'd go through and take my phone and take a picture of every sheet so that I had those notes to refer to. I have been diligent. I have studied. I have delighted in love. But first, it was scary. I was taught against New Age, the Christian church that I went to. It was afraid of yoga. Well, what kind of meditation, what kind of thing? Oh, that will take you away from God. Oh, boy. But I started going to early morning prayer 1 hour a day, 6:30 to 7:30 a.m., 5 days a week. At least it became my custom. I began doing that in October of 1988 and did it for years, an hour a day. And I learned to pray. I learned to communicate, commune. And I talked about how I would go to that little chapel. I'd walk in and I'd kneel down behind the last pew. Learned to pray. I learned to pour out my heart. I learned to share what I was experiencing, my disappointment, my delusion, my lack of understanding, how to be a man, how to be a Christian, how to follow, how to live love. I knew there was more to the story. And at times I would ask questions. And increasingly, I was taught through those times to ask questions and to question what I called God. This idea of love, supreme commander, ultimate creator. Ask. Oh, ask and you shall receive? Okay. Ask about your identity. Ask about your limitation. Ask. But realize if you want an answer to conform to what you already believe, you probably won't hear anything. Nothing will be revealed to you. Because love doesn't speak unless you're open. At least. Not much. Are you open to know what you don't know? Are you open to learn? Are you open to learn things you never imagined? Are you willing to learn new things being taught to you, coming through your own mouth as you teach, as you record, as you make a little video? Are you willing for that energy of unconditional love to be manifest? There's a new Bible called the Bible of Christ. I channeled it, and you can find in it that which is not commonly taught. You remember, seems like there's some reference somewhere in some book that if everything that Jesus did and said was recorded, all the books in the world couldn't hold it? What happened to all of that information? Why do we have only such a tiny set of words in red in some Bible that a bunch of men in robes got together and decided to approve as God's Word? Religion shuts the mouth of God. Do you understand? Do you know what I'm saying? Do you feel the ramifications, the magnitude of the earth changing under your feet? Religion shuts the mouth of God and says, you're separate, you're not God, you're unworthy. You sit there and do what we say and don't make waves. Oh, and make sure you tithe. They don't open the voice of God. I am. I know it sounds audacious. I am opening the womb. I am opening the womb for a new creation by my words. For this word to be delivered in your hearing, that you receive as the seed to bring it forth in you, the child. The child. Are you willing to come as a little child? Not to the throne of grace, not seeking a vicarious atonement, no longer praying a sinner's prayer. Are you willing to come and bow before you? Are you willing to no longer be afraid of the lion in the streets? The lion's den, the fiery furnace, the story of heaven and hell. Are you willing to come out of the slavery to religion, slavery to the flesh? Are you willing to create a consciousness that creates the cosmos, no more limited by you, that you are? You see, there's a consciousness. I like that old little ditty says, a lot of people try to build a second story on a vacant lot. Well, of course, it's not doable, but people try. A metaphor. What do you see? A metaphor, metaphorically. symbolically, allegorically? Are you willing to see a new story, a new narrative, a meta story? And let not you be taken for a fool anymore by the words of articulate sounding people in robes that wear rings and want you to kiss them, to bow down before them, to give them double honor. My friend, the patriarchy of God, the patriarchy of God serves control. By its very nature, patriarchy is misogynistic, to keep women subservient. I'm a man, but I'm a woman. I changed gender, not physically, but spiritually. You see, there's a womb. Have you studied? Or will you just bring forth air? The new birth. Will you link? Will you put things together? Are you willing to search it out? Are you willing to make connections? Are you willing to connect with the angel? That's you. Are you willing to be taught by love directly? Rather than sitting in a pew on some chair, looking up, somebody on a stage prancing around, trying to operate confidently in their authority to bring you God's message for the day. My friend, some of you are sick of that, and you know there's more. And some of you still embrace it. Maybe you're hearing my message for the first time. But if you're willing to become a newborn, if you're willing to come as a little child, come where? To the throne within you. I mentioned that I started going to a little chapel praying an hour a day. So many things I've said about that in the past. There are other recordings you can find. You can look them up. You can listen. But at what level are you listening? Are you listening like you listen to the radio? Like you listen to a news broadcast? You're just hearing the information flow past your ears? Or are you engaging? The truth will not make you free unless you become it. The truth is grown in you. It's not something that you possess because you're not separate. The mind of one becomes the one. It's a great mystery. No, it's not a mystery at all anymore. The force field, your reality, no longer is separate from the reality that the whole cosmos is within you. And you are in it. But we, thinking classical physics designed our world or limits our world, we've had trouble. We may still have trouble with these concepts. All in all, the I am. You are the I am. I am is one. There's only one made up of an infinite set of beings who are all one. No longer hiding from what we've considered. Might be the consciousness of another. No longer hiding. Naked. No clothes on. No flesh on. No flesh. You think angels wear clothes? I know. When you begin in the Bible of Christ, actually, I'll tell you, there are many funnies that I channeled. I mean, there are many songs. There are many requests, many instructions, many values. And you will find my life spoken of in the Bible of Christ because I channeled it. And so there are constant references to me and what I'm learning and how I'm responding to help me mature. There's a new Bible of Christ, and you can search it online. But what makes all the difference in the world is your attitude, the amount of time you spend. What matters most is your motive and your willingness to engage in a process of experiencing the new and living eternal covenant. Remember, what is it, Exodus, 19 or something, it's been years. You need not man to teach you, for love will teach you itself. Love will teach you internally. But religion will say I'm a false teacher. I say you're Christ if you will be it. So you can bet your booty religion will call me Antichrist, because their definition of Christ compels you to sit on a pew, say a sinner's prayer, read your book, study to show yourself approved, and be fearful of falling into the hands of the living God. And I am saying, lead, women, lead, and no longer be under men, no longer be under religion, no longer be under law that says you must do this and that a certain way at a certain time and fill out your resume a certain way, work for somebody else, hoping for a few crumbs from the rich man's table. This book on the back cover, Jesus the Pattern that I wrote, this is a definitive message to ordinary people everywhere, both women and men of all races, that what Jesus became, we can become. This book is a call to action, a call to create, a call to lead out of where we have been taught to be powerless followers who wait and worship another. It's not about faith, but surrender to learn, to let God teach you directly. To become again your original divine source, energy of life itself. I love you. And I go now. My website, TheodoreCottingham.com. I began channeling. Let not your heart be troubled when you begin to channel. If you ask for a fish, will God give you a stone? You see, a lot of people love to quote, "Judge not that you be not judged." Religion loves Paul, all the writings of Paul. But what did Jesus say in John 7:24? Jesus didn't say don't judge. Jesus said judge. Look it up. Judge, but judge righteously. What else did Jesus say? Do you know? Have you studied the words in red? Have you memorized the words in red? Do you care? What's your pattern for your life? Mine's Jesus. But not the Christian Jesus. It's the Jesus I was taught about from within me that I channeled all these words. For years, the Bible of Christ is more than 3 times longer than your Christian Bible. I channeled it over almost 6 years. And you can search it. But how you search, how you engage, how you let there be light makes all the difference. You don't come to it. You don't come to that little search box on that screen on your laptop or your telephone in judgment, nor making it conform to what you expect to find. You go explore. The theme of this school is exploration and adventure. How do I know? How did I decide that? It was given to me. You can find the theme of the school is adventure and exploration in the Bible of Christ, because I did no editing. I did no editing in any of that. It was exactly as it came forth, the best I could write at the time, that which I was experiencing. So there are words in there you never imagined. There are new words, concatenations. There are oxymorons. There are many metaphors. And the diction and grammar change quite frequently. Parts of it have no punctuation at all. Parts of it has no punctuation and no capital letters. But of course, not so many people know, but I've read where all those original Bible verses, they had no chapter and verse. They weren't numbered. They didn't have subheadings. And what about the books that didn't make it into the Bible? They were too radical. Thomas, Mary, Enoch. What are you willing to know? Or do you just want to sit on your laurels? Or do you want to just be comfortable? Because you have such an investment in your past that the past is your pastor. And your pastors preach religion. They preach torment. Because in the Christian faith, you are never good enough. You are never good enough. You're never equal. You're always subservient. You're always subject to patriarchy, misogyny, hierarchy. But my friend, that is giving way to the truth. the truth of unconditional love. And women will lead this. And men won't stop them. Unconditional love is not powerless. And my friend, I'm telling you right now, you will see women come into leadership roles that you never imagined. You'll see some little old ladies who get around now only on walkers, who appear feeble and frail. Begin to raise people from the dead. Feed the 5,000. Calm the storm. Heal the lame, the sick, the blind. Because truth is emerging as new creations that no longer limit each other, being Christ in their shoes. Hear me well. This is what's coming forth. And it's nigh unto your mouth. The word is in your mouth. You have the power of life and death in your tongue. See a new law not. See a new Bible. Bible that's been channeled straight from the heart of unconditional love. And you can search it. You can go online right now, today, when this recording is over, whenever you want to, you can go to theodorcottingham.com and you can see a link to search on the Bible of Christ. But here's how you do it, may I suggest. Search and be not afraid. Search and learn a new searching system. Because this is opening up a new learning system to you that is not line by line, precept by precept. It's not limited to classical physics. It's not limited to the information like you hear on waves floating about, going through the quanta, reaching your ears. This is about seeing the intangible infinite that is being expressed in these words of the Bible of Christ. You beginning to experience the word within you, to have new ideas, to have new thoughts, to raise new questions, and search. And be not afraid of what you find. So, at the moment, I'm chief cook and bottle washer. Technical guru that's not very technical. But making a new website. And on my phone, you'll find, at least today, this picture, an angel, a being of light. And if you come to the menu, there's a little option down here, the Bible of Christ online search, if you can see it. So there's a little search box, right? Touch that little search box. It enlarges. And type in something. Anything. What comes to your mind. Live. I'll type in live. L-I-V-E, submit. Oh gosh, So here you see is the results screen. I'm sorry it's backward, but I'll show you. See right here. More than 1,000 results found. 100 pages of results. But see, there's a hyperlink to the first one it gives you. And you can even see the context of how that search term was used in that file, that message, that lesson. So you can go through and look at the wording of the different results. You can skip the ones you want to, and you can click the hyperlink name of the file for the ones you want to. So if I click the first one, the file name is 16472. What does that mean? The naming convention that I use for the Bible of Christ for all of this. Over 2,000 unedited lessons that form the foundational curriculum of the school. 1.6.472, Database 1, Volume 6, Lesson 472. So if I click that, it opens up that lesson. And then, if it's little on your phone, you should be able to do this. You can find and you can read. But don't read it like the newspaper. Please don't read it like a magazine. This is not just about information, it's about your kingdom that is within you. For you to learn to enter it. No longer just being a follower. There's leadership in your veins. You are the light of the world. Who said that? Somebody famous? You are the light of the world. Saying it to you, I am, I am. Are you I am? Will you be I am? The consciousness of one. No longer controlling you to be separate. Let not your heart be troubled. Come into the Bible of Christ and learn to be Christ in your shoes. That's my message for you this day. And I love you. So how the school works. Theodore Cottingham University. I called it the School of God for a while. I called it the University of the New Covenant. I call it the School of Light, Love, and Peace. I even incorporated the School of God, got tax exempt. But as in a recording a few days ago, I shared, the problem with God, the word, proper noun, everybody seems like everybody on earth knows what it is. They formed it, and they know. They know that they know. They know that they know that they know that they know that they know, right? So they're not open to learning who they are. So finally, I'm so tired of changing websites and names, domain names. So I'm just simply me. I'm 74. I'm a simple, ordinary, common guy. Saying, you have the ability to become Christ in your shoes if you will no longer worship another and begin to learn the language of unconditional love that communes with you, inside of you. And if you're willing, as you begin to search online in the Bible of Christ that I'm speaking of, that's online right now. Take your shoes off. It's holy ground. Listen, just simply come as a little child and engage. Engage. Engage as a lover. A lover of what? A lover of truth. A lover of that which you have not known. A lover of that which you haven't experienced, that you are no longer afraid of. A lover of love. And listen and see if you can find the voice of love in these words of the Bible of Christ. See what you find. And be tender with you. Not condemning. Judge you worthy. Judge you worthy. Judge you worthy to come, not into someone else's kingdom, but your own kingdom. And allow the words of database one. Well, that's what I used to call it. That originally, I had no idea it was going to become all that it's become. There was a while I called it the Meonics Covenant, a new word, defined. But within the Bible of Christ is a whole learning system that will even teach you how to operationalize experientially the new and living covenant, exercising your free will to create you anew, birth you, so that we no longer bring to the birth just air, where we talk about God, we talk about Christ. Become it in your shoes is my message. Thank you, you who have listened, you who have written kind comments. It's time for you to lead. It's time for you to get out of your chair and do things you've never done. It's time for you to pick up your pen and write. Write the first person words of God. Write me. I'm at box 34. Box 34 in Eureka Springs, Arkansas, USA. You can write me. Write me. What are you going to say? Channel me a note. Be creative. You're the creator. You're the light of the world. Wear your light. Become your light. Exude light. Radiant light. And the splendor of heaven will open up to you, but it's not up there. It's within you. Gosh, I knew I liked you. Love each other. Hold no grudge about anything. Condemn no one for anything. Let love flow. And love will teach you to be Christ in your shoes. TheodoreCottingham.com. I love you. If you haven't subscribed to this YouTube channel, I invite you to. And on my website, sign up for the communications list. I occasionally post something, and I'd like to be able to communicate with you if you want to be in communication with me. And I don't want to be dependent on some other company's platform to be able to do that. I love you all. See you later. Lift love high and worship no other. Live love. love, love. You are the light of the world, and I love you. Thank you so much. Good day. Share these words. Befriend them, love them, enter a new consciousness, and share with your friends. Lead. Do something you've never done. Start a blog. Start a share group. Read the Bible. Read the Bible of Christ. Study it with your friends. Jesus the pattern. I love you all. You know how to reach me. Theodore Eureka at gmail.com. And the website is my name, theodorcottingham.com. Maybe it's time for you to get your own name on your website or start a school, start a course. Because unconditional love is a flow. Unconditional love develops leadership. And it's your time to lead. I love you.